Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. I would like to give a special thanks to South Motors Honda for giving me time with the Honda Civic Hatch. If you're in the market for a Honda, you can come check out South Motors Honda and ask for Paul. He will get you into a new or pre-owned vehicle. But let's talk about the Civic here. This is the hatch model here, the Civic. You can pick between a CVT or even a 6-speed manual if you would like. But let's talk about the front styling here of the Honda Civic here. This is the 11th generation Honda Civic. And as you guys can see here, my model is painted in this sonic gray exterior color. Looking here at the grille here, this does have this honeycomb style finish to it. There is the Honda emblem front and center. There's also front parking sensors, and my model does come with these LED fog lights here at the lower part of the fascia. And standard on all models of the Civic, even on the base LX trim, you also have full LED headlights with an LED turn signal, with an LED daytime running light, with an automatic low and high beam. I want you guys to comment down below in the comment section and tell me what you guys think about this exterior color. I think it looks really nice here. But looking at the side profile of the Honda Civic hatch here, this has a wheelbase of 107.7 inches with an overall length of 179 inches. There's this LED side marker here on the mirror cap, and up top, Honda just offers a standard size sunroof. There's no panoramic sunroof here on the 11th generation of Honda Civic. Unfortunately, I wish Honda would have offered that feature, but as you guys can see here, since this is the hatch model, it does have a short overhang in the rear. But looking at these taillights here, they're an LED combination with an LED brake light, with an incandescent turn signal. In reverse light, there's the Sport Touring badge right here. There's the Honda emblem. There's also this rear wiper here, and there's the Civic name, which is spelled out, which looks really nice. Looking down here, Honda does give you these dual tip exhausts. There's also rear parking sensors, and the rear diffuser does look semi-aggressive here. There's also this stand-up backup camera. Open up the cargo back here. This has a manual opening tailgate. As you guys can see, it does reveal 24.5 cubic feet of space. This does have more cubic feet of space compared to the sedan, which has around 14.8 cubic feet of space. You can also fold the seats down to do a 60-40 split. And unfortunately, as of this filming, I do not have the final cargo specs once you let down the rear seats. And there's also this tonneau cover here so you can hide your items if you guys were shopping and whatnot. But looking underneath here, Honda does give you a temporary spare tire instead of a fix-a-flat kit. But overall, let's hop into the interior of the Honda Civic hatch. Sitting inside the interior of the Honda Civic hatch, you're looking at this interior. Honda did a fantastic job here with the 11th generation interior. It was a really big problem with the 10th generation, in my opinion. As you guys can see here, this is a 9-inch display. It does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can use the USB port, or you can use the wireless capability. Like I mentioned, it does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But reaching over here to shut the door of the Honda Civic Sport Touring, the door sounds nice and solid, and my model does have the Bose audio sound system, which sounds pretty good. But to start up the vehicle here, just put your foot on the brake and press the start-stop button right here. Once you do that, all electronics will come on, and you're greeted by this large digital display here. You can customize it via this control here on the actual steering wheel. As you guys can see here, you can customize it to show you a hide and show, so you can basically change the gauge to your liking here, which looks really nice. You can also show your fuel if you like, so you can customize this large display here if you would like. I think the Hyundai Elantra and the Honda Civic is the only two in this segment to offer a large digital display here. I think the Corolla only offers half a digital display. But looking here at the materials on the door panel, it's gonna be a nice soft touch ejection molded plastic. There is this real metal accented door handle. There's some gloss black trim here. Looking right here is gonna be a nice padded area here to rest your elbows. There's nice stitching. It is auto up, auto down, only for the driver and passenger, but not for the rear windows. There's your window and lock controls here. Looking down here is going to be additional storage and cup holder space. Over here is your parking sensors, your traction control, the Honda sensing, and there's your dimmer switch there. This is a manual tilt and telescoping wheel. It does offer a good amount of range and adjustability. There's the turn signal stock there. The wind wiper stock is right there. There's even paddle shifters here because my model does come equipped with that CVT transmission. Like I mentioned, you can pick between a CVT or even a 6-speed manual. There's your sync and track buttons here. There's your volume control and your voice controls are here. There's the Honda emblem here on the steering wheel, and the horn sounds very puny because of this car is really small. It actually sounds really funny. There's some aluminum painted trim down here at the lower part of the steering wheel. Nice high quality leather and stitching here. Over here is for the adaptive cruise control, and like I mentioned, you can customize this display via the scroll wheel here. The materials on the dash can be a nice soft touch ejection molded plastic. Like I mentioned, this is a 9-inch display. It does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. As you guys can see right now, I have it connected to the actual USB port. But going here, the touch response is just super snappy. Going here to the Waze map, it does take up the whole 9-inch display. On the sides, there's some shortcut buttons here for the home, back button. There's a volume knob. There's also a sync and track button down there. You can also rest your hand here so you can basically cycle through the infotainment system. I love the air vent design here in the new Civic. It reminds me of honeycombs. That's also the hazard button there. There's also 3-level heated seats here. Unfortunately, you cannot get cool seats at any price point here on the Honda Civic. There's these big knobs here for the dual climate control. Looking down here is going to be 2 USB ports there. There's also a 12-volt. There's a wireless phone charger, and my iPhone 12 Pro Max does fit if it wasn't connected to the USB cable. Looking right here is going to be 2 cup holders here to put the large drinks. Looking at the key fob here, this is a new key fob here for the 11th generation Civic. Honda did shrink the key fob. There's a lock, unlock, a remote start mode. There's also the trunk release and a panic button, and there's the Honda emblem on back of the key fob. Putting the vehicle into reverse here, it does reveal a backup camera, of course. There's also a trajectory with distance markers. There's front and rear parking sensors. That's why you have this little image here of the Civic. You can also look at different angles here. If you would like, there's a top-down angle. There's also a closer angle, and there's a wide angle. And the vehicle will put the brakes on for you. If it senses that a car is approaching and you didn't put the brakes on, it would basically do that for you. Looking at the glove compartment here, it does reveal a large storage in there. Putting the Civic back into park here. Looking down here, there's your drive mode selector. It does show you eco, normal, and sport. So there's only 3 different drive modes here in the Civic. There's an automatic start-stop function here. There's electronic parking brake hold, and there's this finger-resistant trim here that Honda uses. But here, as you guys can see, my fingerprints do stay here on the actual gloss black trim. So if you guys have OCD, you guys will be wiping this area down. If people like to touch areas, especially next to the climate control. Above me, there's this standard size sunroof here. It does offer a lot of light here. You can also close the shade here if you would like. There's no panoramic sunroof here on this generation of Civic. Open up this, it does reveal the sunglass holder, and there is LED lights throughout the cabin here, which is very bright. The seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable. If you guys are looking for a different color combination, you have to look at a different model if you would like that color option. And on the new SI, offers unique seats, so it does have like some orange inserts here. Like I mentioned, these are 3-level heated seats. The armrest here is going to be nice and padded with the nice stitching here. Open up this, it does reveal a deep amount of storage in there, and you can also remove this tray if you would like, or bring it a little closer here. But overall, I'm very impressed with this cabin. It looks very modern and very upscale. But let's hop into the back seat of the Honda Civic. Getting into the back seat here of the Honda Civic hatch here, open up the door. As you guys can see, the door opens at a really good angle so you can access the back seat. But getting back here, keep in mind, you also have to duck your head because of that sloping roof line. But getting back here, the seats feel just as comfortable as the front seats, very plush and very comfortable. But looking down here, Honda says you get around 37.4 inches here in the hatch. As you guys can see, I have plenty of foot space underneath the driver's seat. This is where I have the seat to drive. Looking over here, there's going to be 2 USB ports. There's some rear air vents here, but there is 1 pocket back here for storage. Like I mentioned, the seats are very comfortable and very plush. And I'm surprised to see that Honda didn't put any heated seats back here in the hatch, especially on this top touring trim here. But putting this armrest down here, it does reveal 2 cup holders and a nice area here to rest your elbows, especially on a long road trip. And there's going to be LED lights throughout the cabin, and there's no panoramic sunroof here. Honda only offers this standard size sunroof. Let's talk about the powertrain specs here for the Honda Civic hatch here. You can pick between 2 different powertrains. There's a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, which makes 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. If you guys don't want that powertrain, Honda will happily sell you this 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, which makes 180 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, you can pick between a CVT, which my model is equipped with, or a 6-speed manual if you guys want to shift your own gears. As the Honda Civic hatch sits here, it weighs around 3,100 pounds. Fuel economy for this 1.5-liter 4-cylinder is rated at 30 in the city, 37 on the highway, and 33 combined. So starting off in the Honda Civic Sport Touring hatch here, this has Honda's 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. This powertrain makes 180 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque. You can get a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder if you guys would like. That only makes 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. So if you guys want that naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, I would recommend going for the base powertrain, because you cannot get that base powertrain on the top model, which my model is the Sport Touring, so it's the top of the trim. And keep in mind, like I mentioned, you can get the CVT, which I'm driving today, or you can get a 6-speed manual if you would like. The visibility out of the new Civic here is really good. You also have this low dash. There's this large 9-inch display here. It does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as wireless. So there's really good technology here in the Honda Civic. You also get this large digital display here front and center. My model is equipped with blind spot monitoring, a lane keep assist, forward closure warning with emergency braking, also with traffic jam assist. So basically, if you guys set the cruise control, the vehicle will modulate the brake and the throttle to keep you a really good distance from the car in front of you, which is really good because I think the Civic didn't offer that before. But the materials in here, Honda did a really good job. There's nice soft touch material. This is real metal accented door handle. The cabin here is super quiet. I can hear a little bit of cars passing by, but it's not a deal breaker for me. But the cabin is really quiet here. And even with this being the hatch model, I do have good visibility out of the rear. I can see that Volkswagen behind me just fine here. The seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable, they're 3-level heated seats. There's no cool seat. You cannot get cool seats on the Honda Civic at any price point. But the Civic is just really good. The ride quality is fantastic. Great cabin, the way it looks. I love the materials that Honda use. This has an overall length of 179 inches with a wheelbase of 107.7. So really good proportions here in the compact sedan segment. And I just love the Civic. Honestly, this was a car I was supposed to honestly truly get, but I end up getting the Accord. Me personally speaking, I wish I could just trade my Accord in and just get the Civic here because I just love the way the Civic drives and handles. It's a really good car. And like I mentioned, my model does have that turbocharged 1.5 liter. And it gets up to speed really good here. Let's use the paddles here. And this is with the car in normal mode. It's in second gear. And the paddles do a really good job of upshifting and downshifting. But just driving here, most people are not gonna use the paddle shifters in my opinion. I don't think most people are gonna use them. But this car is a really good car for daily driving here. It gets great fuel economy. Honda says this is rated to get 30 in the city, 37 on the highway, and 33 combined. So really good fuel economy here. And unfortunately, as of this filming, Honda does not offer a hybrid model of the Civic. If you guys want a hybrid model in the compact sedan segment, you have to look at the Insight. That's the closer you're gonna get to a Honda Civic. They ride on the same platform, but Honda does not offer a hybrid powertrain for this new generation of Civic. I wish they did, but that will kind of eat the sales away from the Insight, which Honda doesn't want to do, in my opinion. But if you guys are looking for that hybridization, I would recommend going for the Insight over the Civic. You guys buy the hatch because you want to get more cargo space. Like I mentioned, when you have the seats folded up, you get around 24.5 cubic feet of space. If you guys go for the sedan, you get 14.8. So it is a lot of cubic feet of space if you go for the hatch model. But me personally, I would just go for the hatch because it looks very Audi-like in my opinion. The Civic here looks very Audi-like in general, but even with the hatchback, it looks even more Audi-like, which I think is a really good design cue from Honda. So Honda, you did a really good job here with the cabin, also with the exterior styling. The powertrain is really good as well. If you guys are looking for more cargo space, the hatch is a really good option. Starting price here for the Honda Civic Hatch Sport Touring here is at $29,400 with the options and accessories including destination. The Honda Civic Hatch Sport Touring here stickers for $33,405. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews and hit that subscribe button, and I see you all in the next review.